Okay, so December 4th was Dragon Age Day, which is mostly a day for fans, but Bioware has put stuff out for us sometimes. This year we got a blog post that makes it seem like Bioware won't be at the Game Awards this year. I won't be commenting on that or any personnel changes at the company. I've said this before, but I'll reiterate, I don't like speculating about the internal workings of the company or why certain decisions were made. On the plus side, it sounds like they'll be starting up the marketing machine for the game properly next year. They're also emphasizing that the next Dragon Age will be a single-player focused experience, which jives with what we've heard earlier this year from Jason Schreier, who has a history of writing exposés on the studio and seems to have reliable sources. Bioware also gave us some short stories like last year, though only 2, which is what I'm interested in talking about. The first is called Won't Know When, and features some familiar faces. Grey Warden Evka Ivo makes her reappearance. She was in the short story The Next One, released last year, which seemed to cover the circumstances that led to her becoming a Grey Warden. She also appeared in a short story in Winter Nights called Hunger, alongside an elven warden named Antoine. This new story is a conversation between Evka and Antoine, who have just saved some miners from a darkspawn attack. They recount some previous adventures they've had. It sounds like Antoine is some type of alchemist. Interestingly, they note an encounter with something they couldn't identify near Arlathan, I presume Arlathan Forest, which bit Antoine. I'm not sure how important that is, but it's something to note. The conversation ends with the pair contemplating their mortality and short lives led by wardens, so Antoine asks Evka to marry him. She says yes. And all those hoping for a female dwarf romance in Dragon Age 4 wept. At least unless something really unfortunate happens to Antoine, which it might. In the story Hunger, the pair is on their way to Weishaupt and they help a village with a werewolf problem. Antoine was bitten and they assume the curse is broken, but actually the demon is still alive, so Antoine could be a werewolf by the time of Dragon Age 4. In Hunger, Antoine is mentioned to be very inexperienced fighting Darkspawn, but in this story he has apparently fought them many times with Evka, so I guess this is the latest point on the timeline for them. They must still be on the road to Weishaupt or they've been diverted. I'm still sort of hoping that Scout Harding could be a companion. I'd be surprised at this point if Evka isn't a companion to our character in Dragon Age 4 though, but if not then she'll probably still be a pretty major character for the Weishaupt portion of the storyline. The other story we got was The Flame Eternal, a story about a pair of necromancers investigating a restless spirit in the grand necropolis of Navarra. This further cements this location as an important one for Dragon Age 4 to me, but more interestingly is that the story actually takes place in 922 Dragon, which is said to be 30 years ago. That would make the present 952 Dragon, possibly the setting for Dragon Age 4. That would mean that the next game takes place 8 years after the events of Trespasser. That's longer than I expected, to be honest, but it will roughly match the time between the release of Trespasser and the presumed release of this game. As for the story itself, it follows 2 necromancers, Emmerich Volkaren and Joanna Hezenkos. They are trying to figure out why a particular skull started screaming, ultimately finding that the wife of the skull's owner had recently died, and they had wanted to be interred together. There is banter back and forth about the nature of possession, enduring affections beyond death, and overall we're given the impression that these 2 are good friends. I actually have a feeling that one of these 2, or maybe both, could be dead by the time the game takes place, and we deal with their possessed spirit. More particularly, a spirit mimicking the person. Maybe one of them will be a ghostly companion. That could be fun. I like these little stories. If I'm wrong and Bioware does give us something at the Game Awards, you'll hear from me again in about a week. Otherwise, I'll be eagerly anticipating the marketing machine. I will make some more lore videos at some point. It's a bit of a busy month, though. Until next time, have a nice day.